Hi everyone, my name is Mateusz. I'm one of the founders of Taalhammer, and in this demo I'm going to show you how Taalhammer can help you if you are a language teacher or language tutor, and how it can help your students learning more efficiently. We will deep dive here into some more interesting functionalities of Taalhammer, like creating collections and creating flashcards and adding them to those collections. We will look at functionalities like automatic translation, using our database of example sentences, as well as how to import flashcards from a CSV file. We will then move to creating boards. We will look at how to create and add your own content, as well as how to add online content like YouTube videos, Google Slides, and others. And finally, I will show you how to share your content with your students and how it all looks then from the student perspective. So let's start from the beginning. You go to our website, taalhammer.com. You click on Start Right Now, where you log in. You create your own user. I'm going to create user online teacher, and I'm going to give some password. You can also create a user using your Google account, Facebook, or Apple. When you click continue, you're going to go to a welcome dialog where we ask you a few basic questions. What's your language of the interface? That's probably English. What is the language you are teaching? Here we will use Dutch as an example, but you can choose any language from our 31 languages that we offer. You can later in the app create content in different languages, so you can mix them. That's just an initial setup. Here is your native language. We set it up to English. Then we go through the welcome dialog, which shows some functionality. And then we arrive, if you choose one of our main languages, we give you some recommendations. As a teacher, you click here, I want to create my own content. And you end up on our desktop interface, which is optimized for adding custom and personalized content. There is also a mobile view, a mobile app, which is optimized for training and repetitions. We're going to look at it when discussing your student's perspective. So typically, when you teach, you have many groups or many teachers. What our users are doing, they are creating usually one collection per student or group. You create a new collection here in this area. And a collection is a container for your content, container for flashcards and boards. You create it here by clicking this plus button. Here you give a name. That's a free format name, but usually what our users are doing here, they are saying something like Dutch B1 Wednesday at 7 p.m. or 19. You create this collection by clicking the green button. You see it here when you click on the link, you end up on a collection view. You see the title, you see the languages. There's an optional description if you want, and there are some other settings which we will discuss later. So how do you add content to this collection? In general, there are two different types of content. There are flashcards and there are boards. You reset this view by clicking the collection view, by clicking this cross here, and you end up in the flashcard. So the first thing that you are doing when you have a lesson, you usually talk about some topic. For example, today you're talking about bike. So as soon as you type bike here, Taalhammer is going to show you some suggestions here. So for example, you choose the bikes, and as soon as you click on that, Taalhammer is going to show you some suggestions of vocabulary and sentences related to the word that you have chosen. So now that's the first possibility of adding content. You click the star next to the examples, So for us, let's imagine we want to add the bikes, and then maybe we want to add the bagagedrager, which is rear bike rack, and here maybe 2 sentences or one. These bikes are fast on this one. And you see, as soon as you click those stars, these flashcards are added to the collection. Now, you can also, of course, add your own sentences, those that are not in this list. For this, I'm going to reset this view. We're always using the cross for resetting. And let's say, for example, a sentence, I like biking a lot. You type it here. You can also type on the other side. Now we have Dutch here, but it can be any of our languages that we offer, like discussed before. And now you can translate this sentence by clicking this icon here. This will automatically translate it into Dutch, and if you're happy with that translation, you click that star here, and as soon as you have clicked it, this will be added to this collection. You see it here. We also automatically create audio. You see it with the speaker here, and we also create IPA transcription, which can help your students with their pronunciation. On top of that, you can also add images. This is this icon here. When you click it, you end up in this view. There are some images that are suggested for you. So for example, you like this one. This is a lot of bikes, mountain bikes, very nice picture. You click set image. We add this image to these flashcards, and now when your students will be learning, they are going to see this image in the learning mode. I will show you this later. What you can also do, and it's very interesting functionality, if you're taking a lot of notes during lesson, what you can do, you can type my bike is black, and then with one click, I'm now clicking only enter. I click enter, and it's automatically translating this, adding this to your collection, and highlighting this, so you can immediately create the next one. You can say we have many bikes. I click enter, it's translated and added and so on. So that's a functionality that resembles chat systems like Skype or maybe Zoom, but of course much more powerful because it automatically translates it into the target language that you are teaching and adding it to the collection, which later you will share with your students. Your students will be learning from it. Additionally, you can also add content from other collections. So you can go to our languages here. These are collections that we natively offer in Taalhammer. Very interesting ones for you will be topic collections. So you go here, and there are there are many topics here. So let's imagine you are talking about traveling. So what you can do, you subscribe to this collection right here. And as soon as you do that, on your editor, you're going to see this useful traveling vocabulary. And now when you click on that right here, you end up in the collection view for this collection. And here you can add some more vocabulary by selecting few of them. For example, those two, then going on the copy button and selecting the collection you want to copy the content into. And when I click on that, they are going to be added to the collection that we are working on. So now we are done with the traveling collection. We can unsubscribe. We don't need it anymore. Maybe we will come later to that, but not right now. So we unsubscribe, and this disappears from this view here. There's one more interesting way. If you have content in spreadsheets or in CSV files, or maybe you're using ChatGPT to generate some content, you can also import content from CSV files. So how do you do that? First of all, you need, of course, a CSV file. I have prepared here a small CSV file, actually a spreadsheet, Google Spreadsheets. So what we need 2 columns, one per language, and in the header, we need the ISO code of the language. So in this case, English into Dutch. you save this, you download this as a CSV or TSV file. So let's click on CSV. This has been saved to disk. And now I go into the Taalhammer app and I click this icon right here. I click it. It asks me, there's a dialog asking me for the file. I'm clicking on the dialog, and here I select the CSV file. I click open, then it's selected, and then I click submit, and this content has been added to my collection. You don't see it here yet, but the next time you open it, it will be also visible here. So several ways of adding collections. So far we have only been on this view here, flashcards. Let's now move to boards, a very interesting functionality. You click on this icon here, it's a board, and here you can do several things. This functions roughly as a virtual board, maybe resembling a whiteboard that you know from classroom, when you can add different types of content. So what can you add here? First thing you can add is some text. So you can either write here, we can switch the language here to Dutch, and I will go to this website that I have prepared, and I will copy text from here, go to Taalhammer app, paste it here, and then maybe I need a title. This is a default title, my new board. So let me copy brief aan Marcel. I type it here, and when I'm done, I'm clicking this star here, and this board is added to my collection. And now you see updated content. Now, what we will also see, because this is a longer text, Taalhammer will also generate audio for this text, so your students can listen to it in a listen mode. So now when you refresh this board, you can go to another flashcard and then come back to the board. You will see the play button, and from that moment, you can play it or your students can listen to it. You can also add now examples to that board, examples with words, phrases, or sentences. For that, for adding content to the board, there are those two buttons here. The one here adds a flashcard. So when I click on that, I'm going to see this flashcard here. I can change directions because I want to add content from English into Dutch. And now from this text, I can copy something. I can copy een klein huis. I put it here. I click on the translation button, and it's being translated into English. Then I go here, and I select iedere zaterdag. I add a new flashcard right here. I type I paste it here, then I translate it, and then I save the whole thing. And you see two things. So one, the board is here with this title, but also the flashcards that you have created are also added separately to the collection that you are currently working on. And this is, you can change the collection. So if you have many teachers or many groups, you will have many collections, and you change the one that you're currently working on by clicking on that star. And that means that everything that you are creating here and saving it with the star is going to be added to this collection. So now there is more. I'm going to reset this board right here with the star. So I have a new board. And I can also add YouTube videos here. So for that, I go to YouTube. I found some interesting video about the soft catch-up rule. That's something that Dutch teachers will recognize. I go to the Taalhammer app. I click on that YouTube icon. I add the YouTube link, and my board has this video. And I can add a title, soft catch-up. And I made a typo like this. And I can save it again, and now it's also added to my collection. And now when I want, I can add multiple videos here. I can combine text with videos and with flashcards, but I can also add slides from Google Slides. So for that, I'm clicking this icon here. So here I see a new area when I can also, of course, paste the next YouTube link, but I can also go to Google Slides. These are the slides that I was using before. I need to now publish them to the web. So for that, I go to File, I go to Share, I go to Publish to Web. Here I click Published, I click OK, now it's published. And now I go to Embed, and when I go to Embed, I see that link here in iframe. I copy it, I go to Taalhammer app, I click on the link here, I paste what I copied, and I insert, and from that moment on, I have also the slides here. So what our users or teachers are doing, they have a separate collection when they have all their slides, and then depending on the students that are currently working with, they are using the slides within Taalhammer. So now we have created some content. So it would be interesting to share it now with a student. There are two ways of doing that. When you click on the collection here, you will see a link in your browser. You can copy that link and you can send it to your student, and your student will open it. I will open up a new tab, paste the link that I have copied into this new tab, and now when I open it, now we are logged into the same account, but for your students there will be a different account, and all they need to do is to click this subscribe button, and from that moment they will be learning from this collection. And whatever you add to this collection, your students don't have to do anything anymore. They will be automatically served content from this collection. Another way of sharing collection is making it public. So that would mean it's not only for your students, but it's for everyone in our community. You click that button here. I'm going to copy that so I can find it. Now I go to Languages. In Languages, I'll go to Community. Here are all the collections from all the users that have made their collection public. And here I can search for it. And here your students can find your collection and subscribe to them. And they can, of course, subscribe to all the other collections, the topic collections, or maybe our core collections. They can mix other languages, different languages. So there's a lot of freedom. Taalhammer kind of works like social media, like Instagram. When you, on Instagram, you follow profiles, and then when you have followed them, the content from those profiles you're going to see on your feed. So that's the same way Taalhammer works. You subscribe to collections, and then when you go to learn and listen mode, you going to see that content in what we call the learning stream. Now, this is what we have been looking at, is the desktop view. Now, for your students, it might be interesting to work with a mobile app. So for that, I'm going to switch that into a mobile view. It looks like that. And now there are two ways of repeating and learning the content that you have prepared for your students. The first one is the learning mode. So you're clicking on the learning mode, and here your students, so first they as a user, as someone who is learning, we always presenting you with 5 elements. So the idea, you see, this is the content that we have created at the beginning. So here the idea is that you try to memorize all 5. And when you click next, we're going to ask you one by one, by only showing you at the beginning the content from the source language, so English. Here you look into your memory, if you know how it is in Dutch. And then if you're ready, you click show answer. We show you the answer, and now you are evaluating, or your students are evaluating themselves by clicking easy if they knew the answer, difficult if they didn't know, and almost something in the middle. I'm going to click almost. And now based on those evaluations, we're going to, or your students are going to train our spaced repetition algorithm that is going to compute the optimal interval times and repetition times to maximize long-term memorization. And if we click more here, we're going to also see the boards that we have created. Maybe we can quickly go through that. I'm sorry, it's so chaotic. No, it comes later. Here, your students, by the way, by clicking by that, they're seeing from which collections they are learning. So you see they're learning from the collection. I'm learning here from the collection that we have created before. So that's the first way of learning. The second way of learning is the listening mode. So this is more a hands-free exercise. So if your students are on a bike or in the bus or in the gym, they just open this app, which is available on Apple Store and Google Play, and they press play, and here they will listen to all the content that you have created for them. I'm going to pause it now. You can hear switch, you can slow down the audio and then maybe speed up again. You can only listen to the Dutch sentences, or you can switch them. So first hear the Dutch and then English. So a lot of variation here as well. And of course, you can also, as a teacher, you can use Taalhammer both for teaching and for learning. So if you're teaching a few languages, but you're also learning some others, you can combine everything in our app. You can also use a mobile app for learning and the desktop for teaching. So that's the functionality that we offer for teachers. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I hope you become our users. Thank you.